Okay, here we go. Part 2 of Conversations with Neighbors, third year edition. We got something special. We got Tricia today is joining us, our first full-time team member. And it's actually her first full-time day. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome to the company.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, it's so exciting. So let's just go with what made you want to join the Neighbour Media team, be a part of the company. You have been around us since the start. I was actually thinking this morning, it was our 1 year anniversary at Market Brewing. And you're like, this is so fun. And I was like, I don't know. It was like, come work with us. We'll figure it out how to get that. So it's been a long time. So you've always been around. And then as well, too, you were doing some part-time stuff with us. So you've been around it. But, you know, it's a big jump. You were just saying you were at your last place for 17 years. What made you want to kind of jump aboard the Neighbour Media pirate ship?
I was going to say it's a train.
The Neighbour Media rocket.
Yeah. Well, so I've known Lynnette for a very long time. She actually hired me for that 17-year job I held. And when she left the company, it's kind of been like a dream. And we've talked about it like, we would love to work together again. So I've been watching what Lynnette's been doing with you and Elisa, and I distinctly also remember that 1 year party, going in there and being like, I have FOMO, like I really want to be a part of this. And I kind of like kept that thought to myself, but then Lynnette reached out to me a while later and was like, look, we need part-time help. Do you have a little bit of time? Do you think we could make this work? Like, we want you to come aboard. And I've just admired you guys from afar for so long and have also been really involved in like community and media and that kind of thing. So it felt like such a natural fit that it was just an automatic, like, yes, however we can do it, whatever we can do, even if we're all kind of scrambling, just yes, let's figure this out.
Yeah, for sure. You got thoughts on that? Like, I know between like us, we've always been talking about her, right?
Always.
Like it's only been you.
It has been every year when we did. Every year when we did our planning, it was like, okay, we know, like, we're just so close to needing someone, and it was like, okay, it's got to be Trish. It's got to be Trish, but we need to be at a point where you can come over, and we can pay you.
Yeah, one, safety for you.
Yeah,
you know, and then as well too, like, us for the ability to, and as you're saying that too, I'm like, we get to this point where like, let's do an office, no more money again. Right? Get to this point where like, hire a full-time employee. It's, like, it's worth it. It's needed and it's worth it for sure. It always levels us up too.
Totally. And when I left my other business and I had to leave you, it was like, okay, I don't know if I'm going to start another business again. I think I will. I don't know. And then after a year, I'm like, no, I probably will not start another business. Right? And you just watched me. I was working at boards and charities. And I didn't think I was going to start another business until this came up, which is exactly what I wanted to be doing in my retirement, but at a different level. So, and I get like, it's just the best to be back with you and building this with Elisa and Myles. And again, we all complement each other in such a great way. You're such a natural fit.
Yeah, and like you've always been on top of mind for bringing in, and then I don't know when it was, but then you came in part-time too. So it's like, true, like you're watching from afar, right? Obviously, you're going to have ideas of what's happening on, but then, you know, to come into the team and then start working with us and working with partners too. What has that been like? Was what you expected, what you didn't expect? What do you like about it? Just give me some insights on that piece of it of like, okay, now you're doing some work with us and, you know, you're on the team.
Like, from an employee standpoint, it was kind of cool. It's like, not everyone gets to kind of like take like a baby step into a job and like feel it out, see how everything works, see how you like it. So that was really good. We found our step for sure. Like when I first came in, the idea was to support Elisa as she was heading into mat leave and work on the paper. And that lasted for maybe month one before we kind of shifted. And then my role became more social media based. So that I really enjoy. It's so cool seeing from the outside how close-knit the community is and how well you work just naturally as being part of the community with those partners. And that felt like a really natural fit for me too, coming in just right away, being introduced to people. Okay, here's how you're going to work with them and seeing how the outfit works as a whole.
Yeah, and two things. One, so you're like involved like some community groups, some women's groups, right? Outside of work too. So you've always had that community involvement kind of bone to you.
Yeah, fair.
And then in your other job, like accounts, like handling like client relationships as well too, right? And I do feel like this is kind of that perfect convergence of that on the Neighbour Media side. And quickly we adjusted and pivoted, which we're really, really good at too. I mean, like, forget the paper stuff. Elisa could do it 9 months pregnant. And more in this. And even as our business was kind of evolving to kind of more account management stuff had started to grow organically too. It was something that we didn't really put out there, but through relationships that Lynnette had made too, of us being more intertwined from account level too. And that takes a lot of time and care and attention to detail from account level too. So that's where you kind of came in and slotted into that spot too. And then we've started to pick up some more kind of accounts on that level too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. To your point of pivoting, I mean, I know an area that Myles always said I don't want to get into, which was managing social media accounts. And so we started doing that because even though Myles really didn't want to be there, and not because he felt we couldn't do it, not because for any other reason except gaining access and starting that process with someone is so difficult. I think a piece of advice for anyone listening is please make sure you know your passwords to your social media accounts and set them up correctly. It's been such a throwaway for people and their social media accounts and how they set them up and not manage them properly and keep track of passwords and admins and things like that. So when we took on this business, it really had to be someone that had the patience and the care, because taking on people's social media accounts, it's serious. This is someone's brand, their story. So you have to be able to work with each partner with such care. And with Tricia's experience working with the largest companies in Canada, broadcasters, Roger Shaw, I mean, she certainly knew how to do that. So that was clear.
Yeah, a unique ability to handle like a client-facing relationship too, as well knowledge on the social media side, and as well like being able to know their voice and create the content for each individual brand. It's clear that that's a superpower of yours too.
Thank you.
But that was all like part-time stuff. Come on now. Oh my goodness. Now you're really going to see the pivot and growth too. And it will grow and evolve naturally too, because we don't want people doing stuff that they don't enjoy doing, right? I know that's kind of a life, I would say, philosophy too, of, a holistic approach to kind of life too. You don't want to be hating your work every day because there's a lot of hours go into that too. So,
absolutely.
But what do you envision your role looking like here? I know we're laughing before this. I'm like, I don't know what title was given.
Let's see if I can remember. Account manager, business development and
Something else.
It was very fancy.
it's a work in progress is what we'll call it.
I was probably like ChatGPT. I'm like, make it so it's open to do anything,
Yeah.
Business development, it's like, that could change. It's probably like some operations or something like that.
That could be. But I kind of like that it's open-ended. Like, I like that there's room to kind of shift and grow into what makes sense. So yeah, right now my focus is on social media, and I feel like, growing and developing business like Neighbour and their businesses. But I feel like in a small company, you have to wear a lot of hats. So I'm happy to leave room for that. I think, like, where would I like to take it? I don't know. I feel like this is somewhere where you'll come in the morning and be like, I have this idea. Like, how can we make this into something? And that just becomes part of your portfolio. So TBD, I think, day one.
Yeah, definitely. It's like day one. We're like 4 hours in.
And I love, even when Trish was part-time with us, she was on social media and she saw a local coffee shop that was doing something for Valentine's Day. And she's like, oh, we should be giving these out to our partners. So she reached out to the coffee shop. She bought a bunch of these, what were they called?
They were like box.
Flowers.
Like a latte bouquet.
Oh, right. I love you, a latte or something. And it had a little bouquet and a latte. So
Saltbox Cafe.
Yeah, Saltbox Cafe. Yeah, shout out to Saltbox Cafe. So she reached out to them. She ordered a bunch, and she's like, she just came in and she said, oh, I ordered a bunch of these, and I think we should go and hand them out to people. And I'm like, okay, that's so brilliant. It's always when you're a small company and you are a business, you're always looking for people that take the initiative to come up with ideas that fit within your brand and who you are. And you do that, like, just so naturally.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think if we just stay true to, from like a top level of Neighbour Media as a content creating and sharing machine that helps our partners like communicate who they are, where they are, and what makes them special. There's many ways for us to be able to do that too. And, we can come up with unique ideas and then put it through that filter to help do that too. So I know I'm super excited to have you. Like I said, it's like it's day one and it's a couple hours in. I think we have some time like Thursday or Friday, and we'll kind of go in a deeper dive of, where we're at and what we want to do. I know I have lots of ideas. Definitely want some help within the studio part of it too. You'll be a key piece of that. Obviously the account management side, which we've coined CSAs. Content and social accounts. CSAs. I know Lynnette, it's easy for her to remember that. I know that now that you're in here full time, that we can add a few of those. So if you're interested in us kind of being your full marketing partner on it.
Plug.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we're not going to make that public too, because
No.
other than this, but like not in the actual true deck of it, at least I don't think. Because, we want to be specific of who we work with that. We wanted to align with yourself and us and them, and then do a really, really good job. We want to, at the core of everything, over deliver on what we say. And I'm okay with adding this element of it. After saying this first one, I'm like, I don't want to be an agency. I don't want to be like classic agency stuff. But we can do this piece because we're still different, because we can leverage the studio and the paper and our newsletter and even like what we offer on social too, where traditional agencies, they can't do that. So this will be another tool in our tool belt for us to offer clients.
And I love the people that we're working with right now as a CSA. They're all unique. It's not like we just go in and post. One of our partners likes to have a weekly meeting. They're really great at creating content. They're comfortable in front of the camera. They just need help with ideas. So we sit down with them and help them curate ideas. So everyone's unique that we deal with. And I love that we can do that as opposed to classic agency, give us access. We're going to post this many times.
Yeah.
And that's it. But we are really a true partner in helping them reach their goals. And everyone has different goals.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. It's figuring out what they want, then reverse engineer it backwards.
Yeah.
What are you most excited about this next chapter in your life? It is a big one.
Yeah, it's a big step. What am I most excited about? I think it's really basic. I'm just excited to like come into work every day, and like this is a very creative and inspiring environment. Like the office is super, I don't say like it's an inspiring workplace, and it's an inspiring team, and there's constantly people in and out. I like where like this environment to me fosters creativity and partnerships. So there's a lot of just working together, and I'm just excited not knowing what's going to happen every day. So it's a break from routine, even though, you're coming somewhere, the same place every day. You don't know what you're getting.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a perfect feeling of it.
totally.
Where, yeah, there is so much variance of who's coming in and what we're doing, what we're up to today. And we continue to do that too. But I'm really excited. This is going to be a big chapter for us. I know that when we look back 1 year from now of the impact that it will have made, I am sure that it will be just like the office had exceeded my expectations. I believe that you will exceed my expectations too.
Check back in 1 year.
You got any notes too? Like you got the prodigy back in the system too.
Excited.
I think back of like you hired Trish when she was 21, and
It's crazy.
and then now in this business, and it's always fun to watch you two work together and interact. So now you have her full time.
So it's so crazy because I always say business is about relationships. And even building this business, Darren, who is our designer, I started with him. I've known him 25 years. And when I picked up the phone to call him and say, hey, can you help us out with the paper? And, here he is today working with us. Darren worked with us, Tricia and I, at our other company. And now Tricia's here with us here. And just surrounding yourself with good people is like my dream. And this business, that's all we do, is surround ourselves with good people and doing good things. So welcome. I'm so happy you're here.
And just to add, like, you're like from day one when I was 21, fresh out of university, like in my very first like coordinator something role, like you brought me to like all the first meetings, like everything, like you never left me behind in the office to be like, you're just the coordinator. Like I was immediately part of the team, immediately like front facing with clients. And like I learned a lot from that, and just like the way that you celebrate people, like you said, with relationships, like you remember their birthdays when they're having babies, like their promotions when they go somewhere different. It's like you're always celebrating people's wins as though they're your own. And that's what makes you a great partner and a great boss.
That's like last episode of Finding Rhythm. It was play long-term games with long-term people. This is
it.
where you
you
get
go.
the true power of it.
And really, Neighbor, like since we started, I'm so proud of the partners most of our partners are still with us. There are a couple that aren't and wanted to come back, and we just kind of said, we're full. Because they weren't necessarily a partner that fit with who we are. And the partners that do, they're still with us. Like, I'm so proud of that.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's that's what shows the value, the true value of what you're doing, right? You could sell anything, right? You could sell anything, but that's an in and out, right? Repeat, call it customers or repeat purchases. That's a true testament of a good business, and what you're offering has real value of that. And most of them, 90%, I would say, is like repeat customers, clients, partners. And then we're just continuously to add in one or two, and continue to build it up.
And you know what? I feel fortunate. Early on in my career, I started my career at Rogers. And at that point in 89, Ted Rogers was very involved in the company. And he expressed how expensive churn was. It costs so much to acquire a customer, time, energy, money, that you don't want them to leave. So how do you treat them so that they stay? So when we first started at Rogers, we went through extensive training to reduce churn. So every interaction you had with a customer was positive and they didn't want to leave you. The world is different today, but how fortunate I was to be part of a company that instilled that in me, and I've just taken that throughout my career, is your customers are valuable and treat them that way. So
Yeah. Don't give them a reason to leave.
don't give them a reason.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts as we wrap this up and the real day begins?
Just excitement and positivity. And I think that's kind of the Neighbor way, right?
Yeah, for sure. You know, Neighbor Media just started with an idea and then a handful of clients. And here we are. We got a full team now, systems, people, processes, and the same mission to help good people and good businesses grow and get their message out there. So I'm excited for this next year. Yeah, we'll see you out there in the community.
Final thought, here we grow.
Here we go. Bye-bye.
Bye.